brought to you by Next Version U. The story, The Art of the Bad Deal. He still remembers the day the numbers didn't add up, not because of a misprint or a misplaced zero, but because he'd wanted them to work so badly that he convinced himself they did. It was his first real investment. He'd walked the property, talked to the sellers, felt the buzz of possibility running through his veins. It looked perfect on paper, the kind of project that could prove to everyone, including himself, that he belonged in the big leagues. But deep down, something felt off. He'd ignored the whisper. He'd let excitement drown out wisdom. By the time the ink dried and the dust settled, the perfect deal had become a slow motion disaster. Costs ballooned, partners vanished, every small problem multiplied, and there it was, his first true loss. For weeks, he carried the weight of embarrassment, not because of the money, though that hurt, but because of the pride. He had thought success was about never losing. Now he realized it was about learning how to lose well. One evening, sitting alone at his desk, surrounded by unpaid bills and half-empty coffee cups, he caught himself whispering aloud, "This can't be the end." It wasn't. He called a mentor, expecting sympathy. Instead, the older man laughed gently and said, "Congratulations. You just paid for your education." That line changed everything. Failure wasn't the opposite of success. It was the tuition for it. So he leaned in. He dissected every mistake, the assumptions, the shortcuts, the ignored instincts. He wrote them all down. Then he went back into the field, humbler, sharper, lighter. The next deal wasn't perfect either, but it was smarter. He negotiated slower. He questioned everything. He listened. He learned to say no when something didn't feel right, even when it glittered. Over time, those scars became his strategy. The bad deal had become his best teacher, not because it made him money, but because it made him wise. Now, when young dreamers come to him asking how to avoid mistakes, he tells them the truth they don't want to hear. You can't. You'll lose money. You'll misjudge people. You'll make bad calls. Just don't waste the lesson. He tells them that pain isn't permanent, but ignorance can be. And that experience is simply failure you've paid attention to. Years later, that bad deal is still the one he talks about most, not with shame, but with gratitude. Because every success that came after it, every confident choice, every quiet victory was built on that single humbling loss. And that's the real art of the bad deal, to turn regret into wisdom and wisdom into freedom.